As we continue to celebrate Doom Eternal's success and the return of the franchise as the top dog of its genre, we here at Gaming Bolt are continuing our conversation and analysis of the many different enemies of Doom's mainline games. As such, this time around, we'll be looking into the Pinky Demon and Cacodemon. Who are they really? To start things off, let's take a look at the Pinky Demon, also known as the Spectre, depending on who you talk to. But for the sake of argument, we'll just call it the Pinky Demon for this, as that seems to be the most common nomenclature. These particular monsters evoke lots of feelings of hell in a very obvious way. They are relatively large in size and stature, pinkish or reddish, bulky, muscular, powerful, and feature a lot of staying power, especially when compared to the other earlier enemies of the original games, where the zombies and imps can be taken out with one or sometimes two shotgun blasts. These guys can absorb quite a few more as they charge towards you, only stopping for very short moments as you shoot them. Their huge, absurdly sharp teeth, devilish horns, and massive animalistic feet make them one of Doom's most easily recognizable monsters. They really do look like they're straight out of hell. Thankfully, as your arsenal increases with more powerful weapons like the rocket launcher, plasma gun, and others, these stocky demons do become less of a threat overall, but even later on in the game, facing more than one of these at a time can spell certain death for anyone who doesn't give them the attention they deserve. While most of Doom's monsters hang back and fire at you from a distance, it can be easy to overlook these guys. That can be a terrible mistake though, as once they do get to you, they can deal quite a bit of damage with their bites. So, while they are not much of a threat from a distance, they are still best dealt with before they can get close, as they will absorb a fair amount of shots before finally going down. As the original Doom's manual says, they're sorta like a shaved gorilla, except with horns, a big head, lots of teeth, and harder to kill. Don't get too close or they'll rip your friggin' head off. That's a pretty fair way to put it. Their look has changed fairly significantly over the years and in the different Doom games, with the originals and Doom 64's versions being more Spectre and Doom 3's looking like a disgusting pile of redundant protoplasm, and the two newer Doom games taking it into almost more of an evil dinosaur direction. They all do stay true to the main tenets of Pinkydom though. They lack a ranged attack, they can absorb a lot of damage, and they are a real problem if you let them get close enough to hurt you. This is no truer in any game than Doom Eternal though, as they will gladly withstand multiple super shotgun blasts and several seconds of uninterrupted chain gun shots before showing any signs of going down. While the bombast and craziness of Doom's other enemies might distract you from them, underestimating these guys is a ghastly and potentially fatal mistake. Next, one of Doom's less conventional enemies, if conventional could even describe anything in Doom, is the Cacodemon. Few of Doom's various monsters hold as much of an iconic place in our minds for the series as the Cacodemon. The manual describes these beauties as such. They float in the air, belch ball lightning, and boast one hell of a big mouth. You're toast if you get too close to these monstrosities. This classic Doom enemy abandons the ideas from most of Doom's humanoid enemies as it floats around the environment over top of objects that would obstruct most other enemies, making the Cacodemon's line of sight harder to break than most others. What's more, they often come from higher up, sometimes just straight out of the sky, giving them a bit of an advantage, often before you even know they're there. While most of Doom's enemies have legs, arms, and other humanoid characteristics, the Cacodemon lack those sort of characteristics, and as a result, that made it stand out as a simpler, evil, red ball of meat and teeth and horns, bringing a more disturbing and disgusting look to them. They definitely stand out in all the games as a result of this, as they ooze evil in every conceivable way. Most of their attacks are relatively slow and easy to deal with on their own. Keeping them at a distance is the key, but it's not as important as it might be with the Pinky Demons. The Cacodemon look has generally stayed similar throughout all the Doom games, with only Doom 3 really switching it up. With its trademark washed-out pukey design that made the eyes small, the mouth comical, and the overall personality of it just kind of silly. But Doom 2016 and Eternal set that straight, as they did with nearly everything else that 3 experimented with. While all of these demons differ wildly in several ways, they all have one major thing in common: they definitely belong in the Doom universe. They feed on pure carnage and ooze a demonic vibe that enemies from other games just can't touch. Taking them out requires different mindsets on your part, and while they are barely scratching the surface of Doom's army of demonic foes, these three here are perhaps some of the best gaming enemies ever created. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed and would like to see more, feel free to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to ensure you'll be notified when new videos go up.